Imagine hiring a professional team to build your dream home from the ground up. The carpenter earns over $30 an hour for their expert manual labor. Every specialist involved in the modern construction process is highly paid and skilled. The electrician charges even more for their specialized knowledge and dangerous technical work. From the plumber to the roofer, every trade professional commands a high market rate. The plumber and the HVAC installer are essential components of a modern home. Construction workers in the United States are among the best paid in the world today. So here is the puzzle that many economists and homeowners find themselves asking. If labor is this expensive, why doesn't every American home cost millions of dollars? Many people assume the answer is simple, blaming cheap wood or cutting corners. But none of those explanations tell the full story of American housing affordability. If cheap materials alone made homes affordable, low-wage countries would have the cheapest houses. Yet, in many places with low wages, construction takes much longer and costs more. Projects face massive delays, and labor is used far less efficiently in those regions. In those environments, costs quietly continue to rise despite the lower hourly pay rates. The real secret isn't paying workers less. It is making their work more valuable. American home building is affordable because the entire system is designed to reduce wasted time. And that difference changes everything about how we perceive the cost of a home. To understand why, we need to step away from the individual construction site. We must look at the massive system that builds millions of these homes yearly. Imagine two builders. The first creates a completely different house every single time. This requires different floor plans, materials, and complex roof designs for every new project. Every project starts almost from scratch, leading to massive inefficiency and wasted intellectual effort. Now imagine another builder who constructs the same neighborhood again and again. The streets follow familiar layouts, and foundations use the same dimensions every single time. The walls are built from identical components that fit perfectly without any extra adjustment. Windows fit the same openings, and roof trusses arrive with the same precise measurements. Every supplier knows what materials are needed, and trucks follow the same delivery schedule. Very little is left to guesswork, removing the costly uncertainty that plagues custom projects. In manufacturing, this idea transformed the automobile industry more than a century ago. Building thousands of nearly identical cars dramatically reduced costs for the average person. American home builders applied a similar principle of mass production to the construction world. Entire communities are often designed before the first foundation is ever poured. This allows builders to purchase materials in enormous quantities, reducing the price per unit. Instead of ordering 10 windows, they order 1,000 at a much lower rate. Instead of negotiating one roof, They negotiate hundreds of contracts at once. Bulk purchasing reduces costs, while standardized designs dramatically reduce human mistakes. Predictable schedules reduce delays, ensuring that every home becomes less expensive to build. It is a concept economists call economies of scale, applied to our living spaces. But it is not just about buying more. It's about repeating a successful process. Repeating that process until it becomes incredibly efficient is the true key to affordability. Large housing developments operate less like construction sites and more like production systems. When people think about building a house, they usually picture workers with hammers. They see trucks carrying lumber or concrete being poured into fresh foundations. But long before construction begins, an entirely different system is already at work. One that most homeowners never see, operating silently in the background of their lives. Every piece of wood, every window, and every roof shingle has a journey. Every electrical outlet and roll of insulation has traveled through a coordinated supply chain. In many American developments, builders don't purchase materials one house at a time. They buy for entire neighborhoods of hundreds, sometimes even thousands, of homes. That changes everything. Manufacturers can produce larger batches with much higher efficiency. Warehouses can stock predictable inventory, knowing exactly what will be needed months ahead. Delivery companies can plan efficient routes, saving fuel and time on every trip. Instead of reacting to each project, the entire supply chain works on schedule. Imagine ordering one kitchen cabinet. It must be designed, manufactured, and shipped individually. Now imagine ordering 500 identical cabinets. Suddenly, every step becomes much faster. Machines run longer without stopping, and packaging becomes standardized for easy shipping. Trucks leave fully loaded instead of half empty, maximizing the value of every delivery. The cost of every individual cabinet begins to fall as volume increases. The same principle applies across almost every material used in modern home construction. Efficiency isn't created by one company, but by dozens operating in one system. Perhaps most importantly, materials arrive almost exactly when they are needed on site. They don't arrive weeks too early, where they would occupy valuable and limited space. And they don't arrive days too late, where construction crews are left waiting. Every unnecessary delay has a price that must eventually be paid by someone. By reducing those hidden inefficiencies, builders aren't just saving money, they are saving time. The timeline is tight. We need to secure the structural beams here by sunrise. I've adjusted the electrical runs to accommodate. The team is ready. Ask someone what makes a house expensive, and they will probably mention lumber. But professional builders often worry about something else first: the passage of time. Because every extra day on a construction site costs money in ways people miss. Workers still need to be paid, and equipment continues to be rented every day. Temporary utilities stay connected, and insurance costs continue to run regardless of progress. And if one task falls behind, every crew scheduled after it is delayed. Think of a construction site like a massive, complex orchestra needing perfect coordination. Electricians cannot install any wiring until the walls are ready for them. Drywall crews cannot begin until the wiring and plumbing are both complete. Painters often have to wait for the drywall, and flooring comes even later. Cabinets come after that, as every trade depends on the one before it. If just one team arrives late, the entire construction schedule begins to shift.
Finally!
Sorry guys, I hit traffic. That is why modern home builders spend enormous effort planning the sequence of work. They ask, how can we keep every crew working without any interruption? Idle workers and half-empty delivery trucks are incredibly expensive for any project. Even a small delay repeated across hundreds of homes can cost millions. American builders prioritize systems that reduce waiting rather than just material costs. Faster framing and standardized components are all solving the same core problem. Every day saved reduces costs across the entire project for everyone involved. Welcome back. Today, we're building on our previous episodes to examine the hidden costs that can surprise you. At first glance, an American home can seem surprisingly inexpensive and simple, especially in a country where construction workers earn very high hourly wages. It is easy to assume the savings come from cheaper materials. But by now, we have seen a very different and complex picture. Homes are built faster because the entire process has been standardized. Costs stay under control because entire neighborhoods are planned together as units. Construction crews move with almost no interruption from one house to next. The real lesson isn't about wood, or brick, or even drywall. It is about the efficiency of the human system that builds them. Throughout history, societies have always faced the same fundamental housing question. How do you provide millions of people with homes they can afford? Some countries prioritize durability, while others focus on speed and scale. American housing reflects the priorities of a country that expanded rapidly. You are not just looking at timber, nails, and simple drywall. A single sharp hammer strike occurs, followed by... You are looking at decades of decisions about economics and labor. The next time someone says it's just cheap wood, you'll know. The most valuable thing a system produces is an affordable home. If you enjoyed this documentary, consider subscribing for more hidden system stories. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.